Hello, this is Dr. Rebecca Wood, and this is our Week 8 lecture. This is our last week of class, so we're going to review and look ahead. What have we done this term? This term we have done many things, including making decisions. Making time for this course was our first decision, and then choosing a course theme was another important decision we made for this class. And so all of your papers should have been written under the course theme. If you chose as your course theme medicine, then all of your papers would be about medical topics. And then reading. We've read a lot of reading assignments in our textbooks this term, as well as information about writing, and we watched some YouTube videos. And then as we were doing research, we did more reading because reading and writing go together in the learning and writing process. And then we've also documented our discoveries from research carefully in APA style. And then we've done informal writing on the discussion board forums and also formally in our papers. And the writing process can work for a writing project of any length. And skipping a step can actually make the project take longer. And the steps that I've got here are the major ones that are in our writing process that we've used this term. Brainstorming, coming up with ideas. You can do this step collaboratively with other people and come up with even more brilliant ideas. Outlining, research and reflection. Drafting, and it's okay if your first draft or your second draft or whatever are messy, as long as you then go through the revision process where you read what you've written and move ideas around if you need to, and make sure that everything makes sense and goes together and you have transitions from one paragraph to the next. And then editing your paper, where you're going to look at it more carefully for sentences that make sense and whether you have all your documentation perfectly formatted. And then proofreading, where you're going to be looking for grammar and spelling mistakes and minor errors, and that step should be done last. And then what are you trying to say? It's very important to know what your point is. If you don't know what you're trying to say, what your main message is, then the audience won't know either. And it is okay if you need to refine your thesis statement as you write your paper, but you should have at least a draft thesis statement, an idea of what you're trying to say from the beginning of the project. And the most important part of your paper is what you think about your topic. And then review your paper for the logical organization of ideas. Do your ideas flow logically from one paragraph to the next? If you have subtopics, is each one confined to its own part of the paper instead of sprawling out of control or being sprinkled throughout the entire paper? And if you're writing either a biography or a history paper in the future, is it in chronological order so that the person does not die in the middle of the paper and then become head of cardiology at Harvard Medical School at the end of the paper, which would not work at all in a person's real life? And then document, document, document. This is a lot like the three most important things in real estate, which are location, location, and location. And documentation is one of the major reasons that we take this class, and one of the main things that your instructors in the future are going to be looking for once you've completed this class, to make sure that you know how to document every single scrap of information, including dates and names that you borrowed from your research material, documented correctly in this class in APA style, but future classes may ask for a different documentation style. And are each of your sources listed in the proper documentation style on your references or works cited list? And a lot of people have been using those, the software that documents for you, and you still need to double check and make sure that software is actually using the format correctly. So you would still need to look at your handbook or the Purdue OWL to double check. And an APA in-text citation looks like this under most circumstances. If there is no author listed on your piece, then you should put the shortened article title in place of the author's last name. Also, more information about documenting. Many students decide to keep their handbook for this class. The Little Seagull Handbook can be your companion as you write your future SPS papers. Also, please don't forget that the Purdue OWL can be your best friend when you're working on your documentation. If you can access the internet, you can access the Purdue OWL, and I do when I document my material, that when I'm doing my work. And then don't worry about documenting too much. In my opinion, there's no such thing as too much documentation. So if you don't document something, you can get in trouble for maybe accidentally plagiarizing, but documenting too much can't get you in any trouble at all. Editing and proofreading. Did you read your document out loud when you were editing and proofreading it, listening as well as looking for mistakes and missing words? Did you fix mistakes or issues that your professor, supervisor, or editor missed or chose not to comment about? Sometimes the same mistake may have been made many times through a document, but only 1 or 2 instances have been marked. This is especially important if you've been given an opportunity to revise one of your papers. Also, double check the basics. Does your document have at least as many pages as the assignment called for? Does the document fulfill all the requirements of the assignment? Did you leave out an important question possibly that was asked in the assignment sheet? Does the introduction still match the paper? Are all of the paragraphs about half a page long and full of details? And does the conclusion tie up all of the loose ends in the paper? What's next? Please check your SLU email daily for messages from your instructor. Our class is over at the end of this week, and I wish you the best as you continue on your academic and professional paths. And if you follow the writing process and document everything borrowed from sources carefully, you should be ready for your next paper assignments here at SPS. I wish you the best. Thank you. Bye-bye.